So something is happening in Brooklyn, the way justice is accomplished and the way policing is done. Both of them may well be changing. From Project Clear, which offers treatment to addicts instead of court and jail time, to the 2020 Justice Initiative, which aims to investigate and implement better ways to adjudicate and to police, Brooklyn's new district attorney, Eric Gonzalez, has maintained a packed schedule, addressing all of these issues and more since his landslide win in last November's election. And we're pleased to have him joining us once again to discuss the challenges that still lie ahead, and even more insightful, how he spent a lifetime in public service that led him to his current office. Welcome. Nice to have you back here with us.
Thank you.
Before we get to issues, let's jump to the beginning of your career, if we can. What drew you initially to the idea of the law?
You know, I grew up in New York City, and I was living in Williamsburg and in East New York. And it was the 70s and the 80s. Things were tough in the city, and there was a lot of crime. And as a young person growing up in the city, especially, I sort of came of age in the 80s. I was in high school. There was crime all around us. It was a different time in our city, and especially in Brooklyn. Brooklyn had, well over 800 homicides, and I was living in the 7-5 precinct area, which is East New York. Mm-hmm. And in the neighborhood I lived in, there was routinely over 100 homicides a year. And so crime was overwhelming, and it was the introduction of crack cocaine into the neighborhood. And so there was drugs and violence and gang activity. And what I saw around myself was all this crime. And I also lived in a neighborhood that I saw a lot of, criminal justice responses to crime. And it seemed to me that nothing was working. And so around that time, I learned about a prosecutor. I was still in high school. I learned about what prosecutors did. And I said, this would be something that I would like to take up. And it was ambitious because I didn't know anyone who was a lawyer. I didn't know any prosecutors.
So you had great academic backgrounds, Cornell University, University of Michigan Law School. Went right from law school to the DA's office. At what level?
I was started out as a line assistant in the ECAB Bureau, but shortly after, they promoted me to handle special victim cases, and that was considered a badge of prestige because you were handling very difficult cases early in your career. So I handled sexual assaults, crimes committed against children, domestic violence, and I did that for several years, and then I was promoted to the trial division, where I handled a whole range of cases, including homicides and very violent cases.
You, given your background, your experience, certainly could have done that and would have, I'm sure, done very well. But you chose to stay, to continue in your career as a prosecutor. Why?
I saw the need. There weren't a lot of prosecutors like myself from the inner city and being involved in the communities that were, very involved in the justice system, right? Mostly it's communities of color that have a lot of criminal justice needs and are criminally justice involved. And I saw, having grown up in those communities, that it mattered to people that they had somebody in the DA's office that kind of, looked like them and came from their communities. And I would feel it when I was picking a jury, when I was speaking to a jury, when I was in the grand jury, that they felt like they were being represented in the justice system. So I felt I couldn't leave. I also loved the job because I loved the fact that I thought I was keeping my community safe.
You mentioned a couple of things, the opioid crisis that we're dealing with.
There was an approach to the enforcement of narcotics that you had to drive down demand. And the way we did that is by being tough on drug addicts. We would arrest them, we would incarcerate them, and we would then at some point hope that either in prison or through some kind of rehab program they could get treatment. But often the punishment simply was prison. It wasn't working. And we created drug courts, and drug courts became a better model. But what we've done now in Brooklyn is trying to deal with this new epidemic of heroin and opioids, is saying, we don't want to incarcerate you at all. We don't want to put you in jail when you get arrested as a drug-addicted person. What we want to do is send you right to treatment. So working with the police department, we then send out drug counselors. So if a police officer finds someone with a small possession of narcotics in personal use, my office will send out a peer counselor or a drug counselor to the precinct. and say the district attorney will give you two options here. You can come and go to drug treatment. Right now, we're going to give you 7 days to get yourself enrolled in drug treatment, or you will be prosecuted the more traditional way. And so we just started this in February. It's new. I looked at best practices across the country. And what we've seen is people who went to drug treatment right from the very beginning had a much less likelihood of dying and overdosing. Because one of the things that we did not take into consideration when we arrest people is that no one ever deals with their addiction issue unless they're convicted.
I want to thank you for spending some time with us. And,
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having
I think what you're doing is really changing an approach that's certainly needed at this point in time. And hopefully these things are going to be successful.
Well, we're going to keep Brooklyn safe, but we're going to do it in ways that ensure fairness.
All right, Eric, a pleasure. We'll look forward to talking again soon.
All right.
You be well.